What's good, people? It is Tony the Savant. And before we get started, please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. As well, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel as we drop content daily. Go live daily, stay very busy on the platform. Excuse me, I just ate a little, just drank a soda. We drop content daily, go live daily, stay busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always intrigued to know what y'all got to say about these topics. And man, ladies and gentlemen, and ladies, we got some stuff to talk about when it comes to these Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark. As there's been a lot of circulating news with this team. I don't know if a lot of people have been paying attention. I know for sure. I know this off the top, that these Caitlin Clark trolls that pose as fans don't know what's going on. All right, they just, if they watch Caitlin Clark at all, they only watch Caitlin Clark. You know what I mean? They don't understand schematics. They don't understand team. They probably don't even know. They probably can't even name more than 3 teammates of hers. You know what I mean? They could probably name Aaliyah Boston, maybe. But what I've been noticing of all of these teammates of Caitlin Clark is NaLyssa Smith, man. NaLyssa Smith, I forget what college she came in, but I remember, she was making some noise in college, and she was drafted number 2 in 2022 to the Indiana Fever. And, she had a pretty decent rookie season. Last year, she put up, she raised her game, if you want to say that. Last season, she was averaging 15 points a game. I was looking at her stats, but across the street, but just going from 15 points a game, right? That's the number we need to remember. Also, averaging 28 minutes a game. Out of a 40-minute game, she was averaging 28 minutes a night. And we all know, the phenom rookie talent of Caitlin Clark was drafted number 1 to the Indiana Fever this past May or June, whenever they had their draft. But Caitlin Clark comes onto the team, and I didn't really notice it at first, but NaLyssa Smith's role on this team has been slowly but surely being diminished. Again, from 28 minutes a game to this season, she averaged 20. And when we got to the postseason, she was averaging even less than that. And if y'all watched the Indiana Fever in the WNBA playoffs, you probably don't recall NaLyssa Smith being on the court at all. And that's because even, it was only a 2-game playoffs for the Indiana Fever. But NaLyssa Smith was on the bench for majority of that, especially the crucial moments, as she averaged 20 minutes a game, I believe, for the entirety of that season. And I think she her role was reduced even further than that during the playoffs. But she was recently on I believe Instagram or Twitter, and she was stating that after the playoff loss to the Connecticut Sun, that she was, her words, in disbelief at how her third year had gone. And I'm not blaming Caitlin Clark for this. I'm not even necessarily blaming the coaches for this. Some of this has to be put on NaLyssa Smith, as she has to raise her game. She has to hit shots, all that kind of stuff. But my thing is this. You went from being a prolific contributor to this team, as her and Aaliyah Boston last season was a formidable backcourt. For a sophomore and a rookie player, they were doing their thing. And a lot of people, bring up that Caitlin Clark took this team from a 13-win team to a 20-win team, but that's only a 7-game increase. NaLyssa Smith and Aaliyah Boston carried this team, along with, Erica Wheeler and Kelsey Mitchell and the crew. Those two led the way as far as leading this team from 4 wins to 13 wins, which is triple the wins, So these two come into the league and you immediately become three times better than you were. And I think that it's a little bit more attributed to Aaliyah Boston. But NaLyssa Smith, like I said, was averaging 15 points a game, which that don't sound like a lot if you're thinking of it in NBA terms. But 15 points a game in the NBA, I mean, the WNBA, is closer to what inflation involved because they play lesser minutes. That's closer to about 21, 22 points a game, maybe even closer to 23, 24 if you put it in the NBA terms because, of the reduced minutes and um, um, just let's be honest, the skill set as well. For these young ladies to put up 15 points a game, they got to do a lot more than just shoot threes and dunk. You can average 15 in the NBA off pure athleticism alone. So respectfully, I know that she was putting in the work and getting better and better. And then we're talking about a third-year player here. We're not talking about some 10-year, 15-year vet. It's going to take her some time. She's still developing, as well as Aaliyah Boston, as well as Caitlin Clark. But, she was just expressing her disbelief at how everything happened and for her third year. And she didn't really put no names on it. She didn't blame anybody. But immediately after making, that post, she changed her Twitter bio. Well, like I said, Instagram bio. I can't recall. One of the two from the Indiana Fever being in her bio to the WNBA. And I say that because, and I've always been on the record of saying, I don't put too much weight into what these athletes do online in their social medias. But considering that all season long, we've been hearing about little drama leaking out of the locker room as Aaliyah Boston had expressed some frustrations at one point. We reported Kelsey Mitchell had an interview and they were asking her as she will be becoming a free agent this offseason. They was asking her about her possible return to Indiana, and she gave no guarantees or no sureties, but the word she used, and I reported on it, there's a video in the catalog, she just kind of left it up in the air. And, and how I was taking it, I think it's closer to her leaving Indiana than her staying. We'll see how everything unfolds during the offseason, but and now NaLyssa Smith, like I said, I didn't really peep it in the beginning of the season, but as time went on, I started noticing that we would see NaLyssa less and less in the WNBA season, and even more so in the playoffs. And I just got to say this, man. I'm not putting this at the door of Caitlin Clark at all, but this is part of the quote-unquote Caitlin Clark effect. Y'all know that, right? This is a part of it because she's getting the same exact treatment as LeBron James got. And when LeBron James came into the league, he played with a number of decent players, and as time went on, their roles were reduced. And it was kind of sad. It's kind of sad to see because every player that plays with LeBron James, this has been a trend for the last 20 years, 20 plus years. Every player that plays with him, their roles are going to be reduced. If you was averaging 15 points a game, you're going to be averaging 12 if you play with LeBron. And just to throw this out there, NaLyssa Smith this season averaged 10 points a game. That's right. After averaging 15 last year, she went from averaging 15 to 10 this season. And also went from 28 minutes last season to averaging 20 this season. Just heartbreaking stuff, man, if you really think about it in context. And like I said, I can't put this completely at the door of Caitlin Clark, but at the same time, these guys, the Indiana Fever, they are running the Caitlin Clark system, which is the exact same system as LeBron James. You know what I mean? There's one player dominating the ball, getting all of the points, I was going to say rebounds, but she's not really a rebounder per se, Caitlin Clark is. But all of the points, all of the assists, and that leaves, less usage share for everybody else, just naturally. And I think personally that of anybody, if Kelsey Mitchell returns, I wouldn't be surprised. But if NaLyssa Smith returns, I'll be shocked because even the Indiana Fever fan base, they're treating her very nastily right now. They're putting a lot of blame on her. They're treating Kelsey Mitchell like trash. I meant to report this, but when the Indiana Fever first were eliminated by the Connecticut Sun, a lot of people were blaming it on Kelsey Mitchell. You know what I mean? And it's just like profound to me. And I'm not saying that you got to blame Caitlin Clark. You got to blame, you win as a team, you lose as a team. So I don't think there's any individual blame. I honestly felt like this team was offensively ready to make a playoff run, but defensively, not so much. And especially when you get to the playoffs, you playing up against the top competition, you're going to need some defense, you know what I mean? Especially against the New York Liberty or the Minnesota Lynx. So, all in all, I just think that this is a very bad situation. And personally, as a fan of Caitlin Clark, I hope this isn't a trend for her career as long as she plays. Because we've seen this already with LeBron James, man. And over the years, LeBron has played with great players. And everyone except Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis, every one of them had a reduced role. And the only reason I believe Kyrie and AD have been allowed to shine is because LeBron James started getting a little long in the tooth. You know, he couldn't run around like he was doing in Miami, doing everything. Because in Miami, D-Wade disappeared, at least the D-Wade that we knew. Chris Bosh, as we knew him, disappeared. Kevin Love, as we knew him, disappeared. And so already we're seeing it with Caitlin Clark. I think that, you know, Caitlin's flaws allow for Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell to still, you know, kind of do their thing. I didn't even check Aaliyah's numbers to see if they had been reduced, but they still were able to, you know, be formidable, at least in spurts. I know that Caitlin averaged like 19 a game, and also Kelsey averaged 19. So, but in the same time, you know, as Caitlin Clark goes on and she gets better and gets more developed, do their roles get more reduced? I don't know. And, you know, as far as this team goes, NaLyssa Smith played a bit of like the enforcer role. And if you lose her, you know, I feel like it's the not apples to apples. Don't get it twisted, because I don't want to disrespect NaLyssa like this. But it's definitely a bit of like Golden State losing Draymond. You know, it may not seem like it would affect them a lot, but I think if Golden State lose Draymond, they instantly become a toilet team. Even with Steph, you know, Steph's gonna be able to still put up his numbers, still do his thing, but that team being relevant as far as winning goes, I don't know. Because Draymond contributes to the culture a lot. And so, you know, that leads to motivation of the players and also team wins adding up for the team. But like I say, man, I just think that this thing is unfolding a little bit more and more. Of course, as a sports journalist, as somebody that covers the WNBA full time, I look for any little thing, every tidbit to follow. But these breadcrumbs has been leading up. These breadcrumbs have been adding up. When it comes to the Indiana Fever and the team chemistry. Again, you know, there was reports that Aaliyah Boston had showed frustration early in the season. There was frustration with Kelsey Mitchell, you know, and there's so much uncertainty as if she would return to the team or not. And now we're getting NaLyssa Smith, who's actually, you know, made a post and actually I think she made that post and deleted it. Honestly, because I went to go look for it again, try to get the sound bite. And I was seeing some people talking about she had deleted a post. I'm not sure if that was the post she deleted. So I didn't dig deep too much to try to seek. Let me say it like this. I didn't dig too deep to try to pull up the clip, because I wanted to pull up the clip and use it as the sound bite to, you know, deliver this information to y'all, but I wasn't able to find it. So if somebody else finds it, please put the link to it in the comment section. But yeah, man, I think NaLyssa Smith is done with the Indiana Fever, and potentially so is Kelsey Mitchell. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel as well. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily, stay busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Always intrigued to know what y'all got to say about these topics. I am Tony the Savant. Peace.